Hello, I'm Joy McKnight, Managing Editor of The Banker, and I'm joined today by Victoria Cleland, Executive Director of Banking, Payments and Innovation at the Bank of England, to talk about the revamping of the real-time gross settlement system in the UK, otherwise known as the RTGS. Victoria, thanks very much for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me. It's great to have this opportunity.
So can you tell me a little bit about why the Bank of England is revamping the RTGS system, and then also what new functionality will come to play?
Yeah, the real-time gross settlement system is a crucial piece of national infrastructure for the UK. We've got about £685 billion a day going through the system. So it's absolutely important for the financial system, for the payment systems, and for the UK public that we get this right. Following a lot of industry engagement and getting ideas of what they wanted us to do, we've actually launched this new vision for the real-time gross settlement system. At the heart of it is the resilience of the system. We really need to be thinking hard about cyber operational resilience. We want a really tip-top payment system in terms of resilience, and we're thinking not just about the core payment infrastructure, but we're going sort of further down the chain, thinking about the direct participants and also suppliers. But this is such a great opportunity. We didn't want to just stop at resilience. We're also thinking about what can we do in terms of promoting greater innovation in payment. So there are a number of other different strands to the vision. So we've got resilience, we've got end-to-end risk management, but we also want to increase access to enable more and different types of players to join the system. We want to offer wider interoperability, for example, including ISO 20022 messaging, being able to link properly to the new payments architecture, thinking about changing our hours. So broad interoperability, both in the UK and ultimately internationally, and thinking a bit more about the sort of improving user functionality. So going to read, write APIs, enhance liquidity saving mechanisms. So there's quite a lot that we're trying to pack into this program. As I say, at the heart of its resilience, but we want to go that step further.
Okay, well, I want to go back to, the importance of adding new participants and giving them direct access. Why is that so important?
I think the two key drivers for doing this, and actually the Bank of England's already made a policy decision to enable more people to connect to the real-time gross settlement directly, and TransferWise was the first to join us in April 2018, and now we've got about 6 non-bank payment service providers who've joined. But the drivers were, one, very much in terms of trying to promote competition and innovation. So if we're enabling one of these new organisations to join directly, it means they're not reliant on another party, so that can speed up transactions, and also it can reduce the cost of transactions because there isn't a middle person, so to speak. But also I think there's some real benefits in terms of financial stability, because if we're spreading the number of participants, it means we've got less of what we call a sort of tiering risk with reliance of one party on another party. So if one goes down, you've got a lot more links in the chain, so to speak. So it's real innovation and resilience driving this.
So what is the roadmap to this revamped RTGS leading out to 2023?
We're already part way along the journey, and we're just entering a really exciting development phase. The initial work we did was very much in terms of understanding what the industry wanted, setting out the sort of blueprint for the system. We've then been very busy sort of going into some more in-depth thought about high-level designs and running a procurement. So we decided that we wanted to work in close collaboration with a technology delivery partner rather than buying something off the shelf or the Bank of England developing it and completely in-house. So we ran a sort of, seemed a long time, about an 18-month procurement process, but that included coming up with some high-level designs and things. And we announced in July this year that Accenture were going to be our delivery partner. So we're now working closely with them, and we've entered this sort of delivery phase. We've done lots of thinking, we've done lots of consulting, and now we're at the doing. And I think the next big step in that is actually going to be moving towards ISO 20022, so ISO migration, and then core settlement engine. And the core settlement engine is sort of due in 2023. And then in 2024, we've got what we call transition state 4, which is where we'll be adding some additional functionality that we think is important but isn't absolutely must-have. So we might be looking at sort of more synchronization options for different types of systems and things. So it's a busy roadmap. I don't say it's going to be an easy journey, but what we want to win, there's going to be a bit of pain involved in getting there. But also it's a part of the journey now where we need to work increasingly closely with the industry. It's not just the Bank of England that needs to be ready, we need all the industry participants to be ready. So it's, I say, exciting and collaborative stage of the journey now.
And my last question is to pick up on a point that you made in your first answer, which is really around a more resilient financial system. You know, how will this new revamped RTGS actually really help build that resiliency in?
So we're doing a lot to build sort of resilience into the system itself. So for example, we're working very closely with the National Cybersecurity Centre to make sure that we're sort of as up to date as absolutely possible in terms of cyber. We're looking at operational resilience to build that in. And so having a more resilient system per se should give the financial sector greater confidence in what they're doing. Also, we're sort of very alert to the financial policy committee's guidelines in terms of making sure that payments can all be settled by the end of the day. So we'll be meeting that. As I mentioned a little earlier, having more players should help in terms of reduce risks of tiering. Some of the functionality from the new systems will give direct participants access to more data and richer data, and also sort of greater ability to manage their own liquidity. So all of these things should be helping the resilience of the system, but also we're looking at how we can connect to other systems. We've got a piece of work which we call CARA rather affectionately, which is actually CHAPS as a retail alternative. So looking at if for any reason the retail system didn't work, can CHAPS step in? So that's another form of resilience there. And also thinking about sort of interacting with systems cross-border. And another piece of work I've been focused on this year is leading some work for CPMI in relation to enhancing cross-border payments. And I think that quite a number of initiatives in the RTGS renewal programme will feed through on that. So we're strengthening not just UK payments, but also globally as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Victoria.
Thank you.